Hello and welcome back to Aero Haze Blues. I've been on a bit of an anime burnout recently, and by recently I mean since like the second half of last year, purely because I binged watched a lot of anime over lockdown and I'm only just recovering from that. I got into this anime that's still airing at the minute. It currently has 7 episodes as of today, or it might have 8, I'm not quite sure yet, but either way, this anime is called SK8 the Infinity, and just based off the trailer I didn't think I'd like it, but oh my god, I love this anime so much. But what makes it so much better to me is that it isn't just about skateboarding, it's about the bond between the main characters, Reiki and Langa. I love their friendship so much, they're so wholesome, but there's also a bit of angst in there. Episode 7. There's this like skating competition they have as well, and to try and like be the best skater, I guess. I don't know, I'm not very good at explaining things, I don't want to spoil it. But it's just so good. Langa, the blue-haired guy by the way, he's a professional snowboarder. He's been snowboarding, I keep trying to say skating, since he was 2, but he's never like been skateboarding before. So Reiki's trying to teach him to be like more of a professional skateboarder. It's so much better than that though. I'm just really terrible at explaining like storylines without spoiling things. The animation is beautiful, the soundtrack and the opening and ending songs are beautiful, the characters and the designs are beautiful. I love everything about it. So my sister recently gave me this skateboard. She no longer wants it as she's got a professional one now, and this is a kid's one anyway, so it's not too great, but it's good for now. So I'm going to customize this one into a SK8 the Infinity skateboard. But first, a visit from Sebastian. What are you doing, Baba? And back to the video. Anyway, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to be wiping down the skateboard with antibacterial wipes, as I do use this quite a lot, so it's got a lot of the outdoors on it. Also thought the top of this was dirt, but it's actually just the grip coming off, so you will see me scrubbing it thinking it's dirt, but no, it's just the grip coming off. Great quality skateboard, am I right? Now for our weekly Hoover clip. Sebastian did it. Do it on the board. On here, Seb. Sebastian, do it on here. Clever boy. Ashley's turn. Okay, that's the last Sebastian interruption for a while. After cleaning the base of the board, or the bottom, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to sand it in preparation for the paint, because I want the paint to stick, because it probably won't stick on a smooth surface. Oh, here comes the Hoover again. And after wiping it down again, because the Hoover didn't pick up all these sanding bits, I will now tape off the wheels, because I don't want to get any paint on that area, even though I'm pretty sure I do anyway, but still, it's worth the effort. But honestly, it just depends whether or not you're bothered about getting paint on there, but it'll come off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I also taped the background down because it kept coming apart and really annoying me, so yeah. Now I'm just going to take some gesso and add a nice white layer to act as a primer for the paint to make it like stick more and show up more, I guess. Now I'm just going to grab my sketchbook to sketch down the design, and for some reason I feel like showing you some of my sketches, I guess. Okay, we're doing this. Enjoy. Now I'm going to take my iPad, forget that I was watching Given on Crunchyroll, we will ignore that. But I'm just going to look, and wait, is that Littlest Pet Shop? Anyway, I'm going to look for some reference images because I don't feel comfortable doing this one without a reference, or many references, because even though I'm highly obsessed with Skate at the minute, I binge watched it in 2 days, so none of the designs really stuck in my head, especially for the logos I want to include on this. Because it's still a relatively new anime, I couldn't find a lot of the designs I wanted on Google Images, so I had to rewatch the opening many times because there is a scene where a lot of the logos pop up, like now. I also wanted to use some of the designs that they had on the bottom of their boards on the bottom of mine. But for the characters Cherry, Joe, and Shadow, I don't think we've actually seen what the bottom of their boards look like yet, so instead I included the logo on the top of Cherry's board, and I included Joe's arm tattoo for his board, like, well, to represent him, and for Shadow, well, I explain that later. Here you will see me tilting my head to try and see what's on the bottom of Reiki's board, only to discover that his skateboard and a few of the other characters, the bottom of their boards are actually on Google Images already. After saving more references than I needed, I started to sketch out the design. I didn't really have a plan in mind, I just kind of put things wherever I thought they would look nice, but one thing that I did know was that I wanted the S logo to go in the middle. I wanted everything surrounding that because the S logo plays a pretty big part in the anime. It's really important and is basically what kicks off the whole story. I also knew I wanted to put Langa and Reiki's symbols together because, well, you know, they're best bros, best buddies, best pals. And we're going to ignore the ending of episode 7. Okay, so I don't know why my phone keeps, like, dying, or not dying, stop filming, but this is the design I came up with. I put I forgot what it's called, but, like, the thing where they do the beef here. Something to do with Adam, Joe, Cherry, Mia. That's on Reki's hoodie, I believe. This is a sticker on Reki's skateboard, another sticker on Reki's skateboard. This is where they work. Reki and... is it Reiki or Reki? It's Reiki. I think it's Reiki. It is Reiki. And Langa. More cherry stuff. Langa's board. Reiki's board. A green flame because that's what's on the top of Shadow's board. A little explosive here also for Shadow. This little thing here is on Reiki's headband. And this looks like Phineas, but I promise it's a sticker on Reiki's skateboard. And I think that's everything. Hopefully my phone won't stop filming again, because that's not fun. Now I'm just adding another layer of gesso just to make the white more opaque and less see-through. I have to go post something off at the post office, which will leave this plenty of time to dry, and then hopefully I can start painting on it when I get back. But I wanna skate to the post office. Oh, anime. Why am I like this? Do I risk it and skate there and potentially ruin the many coats of gesso? After that failed attempt of skating, because I am no professional at any sort of sport, I decided to clean all the muddy areas with antibacterial wipes once again, but that took just all of the gesso off, so I patched it all up, and, well, I ended up giving it another layer. And finally, I can now transfer the sketch from the sketchbook onto the skateboard. I did have to change the layout a bit because obviously I didn't think of the wheels, but still! I think it turned out pretty good. Surprisingly, I didn't make many mistakes with the sketching bit. I barely had to rub anything out. I probably struggled with the S the most, and then the cogs on Reiki's board thingy. I cannot draw cogs to save my life, but other than that, everything else was pretty good. Although the whole skating... apparently I still have skating and anime on my mind. Although the whole sketching and painting process took a lot longer than I hoped it would. Like, it only took a day, but it took the whole day and I was so burnt out by the end of it. It might not sound like a long time to you guys, but I don't know, I thought the sketching would go a lot quicker, but it really didn't. I'm not complaining, by the way, this project was actually really fun and I'm so glad I did it. I love my new board and I love flexing on people with it. And finally, it's time to paint. My weapon of choice today is Posca paint pens, as I just thought it would be a lot easier and a lot quicker, which in some cases was true, but in the end you do see me go over some areas with acrylic paint. Purely because you can still see the sketch lines from the pencil underneath, and you just, well, at least I can't. I find that you can't rub anything off gesso. It just either rubs the whole of the gesso away, or it just makes one big dirt mark. So yeah, I do end up going over certain areas with acrylic paint in the end. Mainly the lighter colours like white obviously and yellow, but other than that I don't think it was too bad for showing the pencil underneath. Also, I'd just like to point out that those marks on my left hand are actually Posca paint pens, because when the paint starts like not coming out, I draw on my hand to get the paint reactivated, and I really need to stop doing that because it looks really bad sometimes. But anyway, out of curiosity, if you've seen SK8 the Infinity, who's your favourite character and why? Personally, I really like Reiki, not just because he's the main character, okay? I just really relate to him on some level or other, and I just think he's really cute and sweet, and he's a baby. Protect him. But I also really like Langner. He's just an airhead and a dumbass, but he's also really cool, and I love him for that. I don't know, I love everyone, okay? Mia's really cool too, like, he's so young but so skilled and professional at skateboarding, he's amazing. Cherry's just really cool as well, Joe is too, even Shadow, I love Shadow. But people are gonna think me, like, people are gonna think I'm weird for this, but I really like Adam, okay? He's weird, and I don't agree with what he does, but I think he's an interesting villain, and I'm really psyched to see what the rest of the season has in store for him. Now, if you know me, you know that I always tend to favour the villains, and even though Adam isn't like my most favourite out of Skate, or at least not yet anyway, there's just something about him and I don't know what it is. Like, yeah, I think he's creepy and weird, but I also think he's a really interesting villain, and I think there's like a lot in store for him yet, and I'm just really excited to see what they do with him. Plus, he's voiced by the same guy who voices Dio from JoJo's, so of course I love him. But I don't know, it's like he's a bad guy, but he's just so goofy and weird and does that little dance when he gets excited. There's just something about him that I really like. But I do not forgive him for what he did to Reiki. That was bad. Adam, no. Anyway, now that I can't add any more layers on top of the Posca paint pens without them being weird and scratching the other layer off, I'm just going to add some varnish. But because I didn't let the black dry properly, yeah, it ended up getting dirty, so I took that varnish off the dirty area, but it didn't seem to affect the rest of the paint. I have no idea how to word that in a way that makes it make sense, but yeah, hopefully you guys understand. This is the point where I'm now going in with the acrylics over the top of the Posca paint pens to get rid of the pencil marks, but also just to make things more brighter and pop a bit more as well. I also added some silver paint to some of the letters to make them pop more too, and I'm now mixing some lilac sort of shade together because red and blue makes purple, guys, and I'm just adding that to the sides to make it more snazzy. I wait for that to dry, and before adding a layer of varnish, I try to paint some letters onto the sides using this stencil, but that didn't really work out. So I just did it freehand with Posca paint pens, which worked out a lot better, and basically what I wanted to do is do the name, well, write the name of each main character, minus Adam, because he doesn't deserve to be on there. I don't know, I just thought it would make the sides look cooler. Now obviously the top of this board is an issue as well, the grip's just completely gone, you can even see where I put my foot on there. Literally all you have to do is like pick the thing up or stroke your finger on it, and the grip comes off. It feels horrible as well, it constantly feels dirty, it's not nice to hold. And yeah, I could ignore this and just call it a day, but I wasn't stopping there, and that's purely all Reiki's fault, because on his board it looks like he's patched up his with, I don't know, sandpaper or something, extra grip, I don't know. So obviously I thought I'd do the same. Hey Bix! I just thought it would be cool if I just fixed up the whole board, because I'm going to be using this quite a lot until I get a proper skateboard that isn't made for 10-year-olds. Anyway, I'm literally just drawing a line around where the skateboard is on the sandpaper, and then I'm going to cut it out, literally super glue it on with Gorilla Glue, and then spray paint it black. That is literally all I did. There is probably a much safer and easier way of doing this, but this is all I had at the time and all I was willing to do, because I ain't no professional and it's just for my use anyway. If it was for someone else, I'd probably look into it more and make it safer for them, but this was literally the easiest and quickest thing I could come up with at the time. I didn't bother filming the part where I spray painted it black because it was already dark outside anyway, so you literally wouldn't be able to see a thing, hence why it's patchy, that, and I also ran out of black spray paint and I did accidentally spray the sides, as you can see here. But with that, it's pretty much done. The varnish is dried, and I will now show you the results. Hi, so my microphone just decided to die, so sorry about the sudden drop in sound quality, I don't really know what's going on. We'll give you a proper show of the board later, but I was just so excited to go and give this thing a test run. I wanted to see if my design would hold up. I am expecting it to get messed up, obviously it's a skateboard, that's what it's for. Oh, it feels mild better. Yeah, this is so much better. The grip. Bye. I only got the she gets all the way down there because mine's a kid's board and she's got a proper skateboard, but the grip is so much better on this now, so I'm really happy with that. I guess you could say I'm living my best SK8 the Infinity life. Also, anyway, that is all for this week, guys. Here's a quick before and after, but for now, that is all, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.